Okay, çok sağ ol. Well, beklerim beklerim. Tamam. Biliyorum gidiyor. Okay. Hello. We commence.
Everyone, thank you for coming again. Now, the Dean of Faculty of Arts and Sciences, Professor Dr. Meltem Müftülerbaş, will be making her presentation. They especially asked for you to meet you. So, please, hocam.
Okay. Thank you. Well, welcome here. My name is Meltem Müftüler Baç. I'm a professor of international relations and European integration. And currently, I'm the Dean of Faculty of Arts and Social Sciences, as Burhan has already introduced. When the Erasmus programs were opened to Turkey years ago, with the program that you are actually here under, in 2003, I've signed the first agreements with the European institutions, institutions mostly at the time in the European Union, but Czechia was not a member then. And then years later, when the whole program expanded into the global level under a larger Erasmus Mundus program, which includes now, the bulk of the world, we were very happy to expand all of these agreements into different parts of the world. And I'm very happy to, see all of you here in our university attending our different courses. Now, before I say a few words about the faculty, there are just, some anecdotal information that I would like to convey to you. I've just heard two of your participants who are from Italy. I met the guys from Singapore who were taking the bus the other day. I just stopped in front of them and then asked them, "Where are you going? Where are you coming from?" Uh, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, before COVID, we had students again, like you, from different parts of the world. And in one of the classes that I was teaching at the time in Turkish foreign policy, I had three Italian Erasmus exchange students. They went back to Italy, of course, after their exchange was finalized. And when they graduated, one of them continued into the PhD program, the Cattolica University PhD program in political science. This year, Samuel is here as a visiting scholar in our PhD program. So he was here for, like you guys, for one semester as an Erasmus student. And then when he went back and started his graduate degree in his home institution, he still came back to Sabancı University for 1 year, getting something called Turkey Scholarship, which is this specific scholarship package for students, who are living abroad, who might want to spend one academic year at an institution in Turkey conducting their research. So our relationship with you guys, more or less continue. Our Erasmus students come for graduate work here. We already gave some of our brochures for the programs in Faculty of Arts and Social Sciences to the exchange offices, but you can see them online in our website as well. And, I'm sure you're going to enjoy your time here while it's, when you arrived, one of these major catastrophes that never happened in that format, magnitude, hit Turkey, the earthquake in southeast Turkey. So it's a bit unfortunate, but it's of course a major tragedy for us, a bit unfortunate for you in terms of timing, but it's not affecting the university and anything that we are going to go through here. So what are we, basically talking about with you today? And you can interrupt me at any time you want. You are here at one of the most well-known social sciences faculties in Turkey and globally as well. While the university has a major engineering faculty, and we are, in terms of size, much smaller compared to engineering at Sabancı, in terms of uh, recognition, in terms of research, we rank very high. This is, the global ranking system that some of you might be familiar with, but I just want to make a point of it so that, after you graduate, you might still consider and coming back here. Our faculty is very, social science and arts oriented. So when you come to the building, I think you're already taking these different tours. You will see that we have two buildings here on campus. You are currently at FENS, but if you cross over, it's the FAS building, Faculty of Arts and Social Sciences, and right next to it is the art studios. We have multiple art programs and facilities on campus with different art exhibits constantly underway. Currently, there is an ongoing exhibition in the first floor of the faculty as well. And if you're interested in arts, or if this is why you are here, you can always come and visit us. Visit the faculty. I'll just skip that. These are the programs. Some of you are here under the umbrella of these programs. At the undergraduate level, we have 4 undergraduate programs. How many of you are here for FUS? Can I see your hands? So I know you guys. FUS, Faculty of Arts and Social Sciences. Okay. For the undergrad programs, we have economics. So let me see the economics. Anybody in economics? Good. We have psychology. Anyone in psychology? Good. Political science and international relations. Very good. That's my program. But everything else is my program. I am the dean, but in terms of my primary affiliation, political science and IR is my program. Visual arts and communications design, VAVCD, perfect. So for these 4 different undergraduate programs, you will all have your own advisors responsible for these programs as well. These programs have been, undergoing for the bulk of them for the past 20 years. Psychology is the latest one. But combined with the 4 undergrad programs, we also have minors, which you can take classes. Well, everything is open. You can take classes anywhere, anyway. But we have a philosophy minor, which is led by very well-known philosophers. We have the art theory criticism minor. We have gender. We have conflict, and we have generally psychology and econ students take more classes from that minor, which is the decision and behavior. Now, when I say minor, these are the numbers, we actually mean 2 things. We have these multiple classes. Let's say one of you has enrolled in Psychology 201, which is mind and behavior. That's a required class for the psychology major, but it's a required course for the psychology minor as well. In your terms, based on what you've agreed with your institutions, we have no restrictions in terms of, normally our students have no restrictions either, but you can take any course that you want to take here without any restrictions. So one thing that we actually see with our exchange students is that they actually try out different programs and different classes once they are out of their home institutions. Now, for our outgoing Erasmus students, this is something I also advise them. Let's say they are majoring in political science and IR here, and they could take Turkish foreign policy here under any context. But if there is a course that we cannot offer here at Sabancı, and the institution that they go to for an exchange, let's say, offers a course on international security, I advise them to take it there. So when you look at your classes, I know you are now going through your registrations. Keep keep your eye open for courses that you might be interested in and that you can only take here. Okay, something like Turkish culture, Turkish foreign policy, Turkish politics, political authoritarianism. There's something that you can actually take here that you cannot take in your home institutions. That might be a good way of continuing. For the Erasmus exchange students, we also allow them to take even though they're enrolled in the undergraduate program, we are also okay if they take graduate courses. So last semester, I was teaching international relations theory at the graduate level for master's and PhD students here. I had 2 exchange students in my class. One was from Germany, another was from Italy, and they were both undergrads. Well, one was a grad, but they were taking a more advanced class here as well. So when you look at your courses and the things that you might be interested in, the graduate programs here at FAS are, you can see them listed in the back. We have an MA and PhD program in political science, and this Italian exchange student that I mentioned before is now a visiting scholar in the political science PhD program. We have a PhD, MA and PhD program in economics. We have an MA program and PhD program in psychology. We have a PhD program in gender studies, a PhD program in history, an MA in cultural studies. And while the undergraduate equivalent of cultural studies is no longer there, you can actually see that there are a lot of courses that are being offered at the undergraduate level, such as local forces, sociology of religion, Istanbul as a city. I think Cenk is offering Istanbul this semester, değil mi? Let's check that. That might be interesting. Taking a course on Istanbul. I know Murat Germen is teaching a course on Istanbul monuments. So together with these programs that you see in the on the slide, we have 5 PhD and 7 MA programs. The visual arts and communications master's level courses are also open to you. You can take these as well. These numbers are, who graduated from these programs in the last 20 years and the current student numbers. And while you're looking, you're our international student body here, Sabancı is also highly international in the sense that when you look at our alumni, we have, a high number of FAS graduates who are international, and this is a number that we want to actually increase. At the graduate level, we have a lot of international students. Yona in the back requires special mention, even though she is not at FAS. She's at the School of Management. She is an international student, and you are being accompanied by multiple international students here, I think now, in your orientation program, in your, stay here as well. So if you decide to come back for your graduate degree, you will be among this population as well. We are a small faculty, okay? So don't think, I don't know the size of your universities, but Sabancı is a small, more or less boutique university. I know you met with the rector and the vice rector. Of the, if you're thinking about the size, engineering has the highest number of students here, and it has the highest number of faculty members. FAS, our faculty is number 2. We have something like 59, 60 faculty members, and the distribution of the faculty members are there. Now, something that I might actually advise you to, let's assume you are interested in a specific topic. Let's say you're interested in European integration, and the person that you're interested in is not offering any class this semester, okay? The faculty members you can always contact, okay? I'm not offering any classes. I don't have any class this semester. But all of us are, ready to talk to you. Let's say you want to take a class from our vice dean at NNG. He only offers 1 class, but you could always, find people who are doing research, conducting research in areas that you're interested in. So check the websites, check the program publications lists. The websites have an ongoing little problem right now. They're not that informative, but you can always, still go and find the relevant information. The best way, the most important way to follow everything that we are doing at FAS is what do you think? The young generation. Where do you get your news from? Huh? It's not TikTok. We don't have TikTok. Okay? But let's assume you want to follow the, seminars at FAS at our faculty, or, a recent project that has been launched. We put everything on Instagram. You can see Sedef here. Sedef, increase your hand. So Sedef manages our Instagram page. We have an Instagram page, the address of which should be at the very end, değil mi? Okay, so at the very end, this is the place to follow. Sabancı University dash FAS. Tabii, exactly. Çünkü that's where we keep all the information intact. Let's assume we have an upcoming seminar next week. You will immediately see it in Instagram, or something that you're interested in, a faculty member conducting a specific experimental research in psychology. We put everything up there as well. So Sabancı University dash FAS. And that would be, while you don't see individual faculty members' research areas here, you will see all the information that you might need with regards to our faculty for the types of work that's being done. I basically advise you to go into the websites of the faculty and look into what people are doing. We also have, we prefer to hire our own grads as faculty members. So out of 62, we currently have 8 of our faculty members from the Sabancı University program. So there are alumni. Now, those of you who are interested in psychology, okay, who are here for psychology, we have the highest number of psychology labs with the most advanced equipment in Turkey. One of our faculty members is from Japan, Yunko Kanero. She is conducting research with robots, and she just began another project on robots and language learning. So she has her robotics lab. We have 2 labs on neuroscience together with Eren Günseli and Nihan on neuroscience and cognition labs. You can see that we have multiple labs on social psychology, but an interesting point for you might be, let's say you're not interested in psychology and you're not majoring in psychology at all. That's perfectly fine. If there is a lab, and at the FAS Instagram page, you can also see that. If there is an interesting ongoing research, we recruit our own students and visiting students into these labs as well. You can participate in these experiments. So you might go into the social psychology lab and work together with, let's say, one group of professors on coupling. We have a social psychology lab that looks at how young couples who just started dating might endure with their relationship and stay together. And they also look into how they're using Instagram to do that, how a couple on Instagram and with their Instagram posts could stay married or break apart or stay together. They're looking at different ways that social media is being used. You can participate in all of these experiments. Okay, so while you're here, even though let's say neuroscience or psychology is not in your interest area, you could still look into these experiments that they're doing. Political science and econ is also becoming globally, worldwide, very much experiment oriented as well. So smaller segments experiments are underway in these programs as well. All psychology programs are in our faculty building on the ground floor, and you can contact any one of these professors and ask Junko, let's say, I'm also interested in, let's say, robotic language learning. I'm sure Junko will be delighted to talk to you in that format. So while you're here, try to get as much as possible out of the opportunities and different tools and instruments that you can have here. We also have, based on the social psychology labs, we also have these 2 different labs in social sciences. One is a computational social science lab, and here actually we have an interdisciplinary research going on together with computer scientists, political science, and economists. One of the things that this lab has done by professor of computer science Onur Varol, who just joined us last year. He's in the other faculty, but his lab is in our faculty. Onur has built something called a bottom meter in the US while he was still a grad student there. I actually advised him to get a patent for it. He didn't, so it's open to the public. And in the last, in this last incident during the earthquake, his botometer was utilized by multiple different people to find out these fake accounts that are using that are spreading false information. Botometer is used to predict electoral outcomes. It's used for economic developments such as, devaluation of the Turkish lira or fluctuations in different currencies. You can see the computation social science lab group there. One of my own PhD students who graduated last summer from the political science PhD program started to work there in the computational social sciences lab. Take a look. Again, it's the physical space in our faculty. You might be interested in this. Let's assume you are interested in electoral behavior. Why rational people tend to vote in elections that end up with creating a significant, backsliding. So you might be interested in seeing, what led to the British referendum result for withdrawing from the European Union in June 2016. You might be interested in the fact that, how sane and rational people voted for Donald Trump in 2016. The answer to that lies very much in the media and social media and media mining. Computation social sciences lab does that, and they need people to work together with them. So my former PhD student, for example, is now coding data on foreign aid. You're interested in it, knock on their door, introduce yourself and say, I'm interested in data mining as well. I'm interested in, fake accounts in Twitter. I want to see, how different things are manipulated in the social media by robots. I'm interested in why, anytime I say, let's say pyramids or Pharaoh, all these ads about Egyptian tourism pops up in my Facebook or Instagram page. So these are the things that they are doing this research on. And we have another lab, Digital Humanities Lab, that's also a new way of looking at social science research. With the Digital Humanities Lab, our researchers there, you see all of them are historians there, and two of them, which says Universitat Vienna, the picture there, two of them, the two guys are Sabancı alumni. And the Digital Humanities Lab is now translating everything that is written in Arabic into the Latin alphabet via computers. And they're trying to translate Arabic textures, they're translating Ottoman literature, all kinds of artwork into a digital format. Our visual arts and communications professors are building these NFTs. They are doing a lot of creative coding, so some of you might already be, do you guys learn coding? Are you interested in coding? Okay, do it. And while you're here, you might take these basic coding classes, because the future of social sciences is very much coding based as well. And in the Digital Humanities Lab, this is what we are doing. Unfortunately, the young woman you see in the picture, Fatma, will be here with us until July. And after July, she is taking over Stanford's Digital Humanities Lab. So knock on her door if you're interested in digital humanities. Talk to her, because after July, she'll be at Stanford. This is what I mentioned about the art part. Okay, you do not have to be doing this, but you can be visiting this. So you can easily go and visit the art studios, perhaps participate in some classes if you've already done drawing, but you don't have to do actual art. You can follow the design classes here, animation, 3D, photography, typography, all of them are under the same roof. We have multiple international events. This is a picture from last year's lecture. This year's lecture is going to be on April 3. You can also follow that, unfortunately, virtually, of course. We have in FAS multiple different collaborations. These are just some of the agreements we signed in the last couple of years. We do joint classes with leading universities in the world. We do joint exhibitions again with leading universities in the world. And we try to expand all of them into, this is beyond Erasmus, of course. These are our international partnerships. But in every activity that we have here on campus with these international partnerships, you are more than welcome. We have centers that are affiliated with us, from the Gender Center to the IPC. We also have this. We have something called separate internships, and some of our Erasmus students did, especially if they are interested in politics and economics, they applied to the Istanbul Policy Center for an internship over the summer, and they spent a significant period of time there as well. So Gender does work on gender-based research. They have these multiple training programs on gender equality. Its physical space is on the first floor of FAS. You can still, at least, you can also knock on their doors. You will see when they are taking you around, you will see that Sabancı University has multiple campuses. So while you're here physically, and this is our major campus, we have a museum on the other side of the Bosphorus. We have a building in the old city where multiple lectures are held. And you actually see that on the picture there at the IPC. And we also have a digital campus in Altunizade. So these are, you see the museum, I think will be taken to the museum next week. And the other one is Minerva Han, is the Center City building where IPC activities and Casa Gallery is there. Now, something that's important that you might be interested in while you're here, take a look at our graduate programs. We have all of these, 5 PhD and MA programs. We would like to have students like you majoring in our, or getting their master's degree with us as well. The application dates are there. You can always get more information from Sedef and Tucan, our dean's office. All graduate work is fully funded here. Take a look at that as well. And we also provide housing and a monthly stipend together with private application. You can find all of these application requirements on the website too, and also in the Instagram page that you just followed. So while you're here, you only have 4 to 5 months here. Try to expand your, area of study by looking at classes that you might not be able to find in your home institutions, but also in participating in research projects. We actually love our students' involvement in, psychology labs, computational social science lab. Any form of a research project is open to you. We have these pure projects which are already open, which requires, you apply to, you find a project that fits into your interest groups. Then you do a small research project together with 4 or 5 students that are working in similar topics like you in these peer projects as well. Okay, any questions? Because then I think the School of Management is here, right? Okay, arkadaşlar, any questions? Anything that you are interested in and you would like me to talk about? No, nothing. Everything is clear. Okay. Political scientists, psychologists, econ guys, and the VAVCD student. Okay. Take everything that is possible in the faculty in this time period, but management as well. So, the bulk of the students here, it really doesn't matter where you come from or which degree you are doing in your home institution. All of the courses are open to you regardless of your home institution. So that's the reason why I said the computer scientists will probably not thank me for it, but it would be a good idea to combine, a coding-based education here in case you don't have already finished it in your home institution. Okay, those are basically my introductory points. Welcome here, and we'll see you on campus.
Thank you very much, Meltem Hocam. I myself am a history student, a PhD candidate, so seeing these opportunities offered at Sabancı University really brightens my eyes. And you are very lucky to have these here. Now, I would like to introduce to you Mr. Arascan Aktan from the Sabancı Business School to give their presentation. Thank you.
So, a very good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Sabancı University. Unfortunately, you have been welcomed by some unfortunate events, and unfortunately, we are going through some challenging periods. But I'm hoping that you will make the most of your stay at Sabancı, despite all these challenging circumstances. Before we start, I just maybe want to ask you some questions. I know it's impossible for you to ask everyone to introduce themselves individually, but maybe just if you can just shoot out from which countries are you coming from? Just shoot. Sorry, Singapore, Czech Republic, Russia. Any others? Germany. There is one Germany over there. Any others? Portugal, Korea. Oh, by the way, my office and housemates were all Korean during my PhD. Yeah. Any others? Any more? Spain. There was one Poland. Any more? Denmark. Oh, du tale gute dansk. So it's perfect to see. It's also very perfect and energizing to see a very diverse community. So I think I'm the last person to present here, right? So and we are also. I'm here to introduce you the MBA program of Sabancı Business School, and I'm here also with my colleague Didem Kocar. If you have more difficult questions during and at the end of your presentations, I will pass your questions off to Didem. So my name is John. Sometimes the spelling and the pronunciation of my name can be challenging. So if you see here, it's more spelled like the I can, you can, but the pronunciation is like the John, John, in English. I'm an alumni of the Sabancı MBA program, and I graduated in 2007. You can see that the time is really flying. And after graduating, I went to the corporate world. For maybe almost 10 years, I worked across different industries. I worked across different functions and also across different countries. And I also lived in Denmark for some time. I also lived in Denmark for 6 months in the dark and cold Copenhagen. But and then after that, I noticed that probably that's not what I want to do in my life. I thought that I have to do something different. So therefore, I decided to switch to academia. Went to Italy, to Bocconi University for my PhD. And I very recently completed my PhD in Italy and then joined the Sabancı Business School, this time as a faculty member after 15 years. And at Sabancı University, at the undergrad level, I'm teaching two courses. One of them is international business, and then the other one is technology management. And if I want to speak with the codes, so one of them is MGMT 403B, and the other one is MGMT 404. So if you are taking any of these courses, then you will see me as your professor. don't worry, by the way, the classes will be quite easy here. So I can also promote my courses in the scope of this presentation. So they maybe I don't know whether you had a general presentation about Sabancı Business School, but Sabancı Business School is an AACSB accredited institution, and it also has a strategic partnership with Columbia Business Schools within the scope of our executive MBA programs. So I think during September, our executive MBA students go to Columbia University for 2 weeks to take some different courses and then to make some different field visits. And within the scope of Sabancı Business Schools, you can see here there's of course an undergraduate program where I'm teaching. There's of course a PhD program, and there are different master programs. And one of the master programs is the MBA program, and you can also see others for different professions, such as one in finance, one in business analytics. We recently launched a program in actions, research, and transformation. And we have different MBA programs, such as the professional MBAs and then also the executive MBAs. But today our scope will be the MBA program, will be the original MBA program. And another interesting facts about Sabancı Business School is that we are the only school in Turkey who is listed in the QS rankings. And our ranking is increasing year by year. And our MBA program is actually, it takes a year. During my time, it used to be 2 years. But I think after the recent requirements from the Turkish Higher Education Council, the duration of the program was shortened. The program starts in the fall term, and then I think also the applications are scheduled accordingly, so you cannot start in the spring term. It only starts in the fall term. It's also a program designed for the new graduate, like the fresh graduates outside of university. And I think the maximum level of experience you can have for enrolling into this program is like at most 2 years. So maybe by looking at that, it can be a little bit different from the MBA programs in the other top international schools, because usually when they say MBA, usually the class profile is composed of people like maybe having up to 4 or 5 years of work experience. But the Sabancı MBA program, and usually I think all the MBA programs in Turkey, they are mostly targeted for the fresh graduates. For the experienced people, as I just shown, we have like the professional MBAs and the executive MBA programs. So I'm going to talk more about the format of the program. The courses take place during the weekdays, so it's not so you cannot really you cannot get enrolled and then you cannot complete the it's very difficult to complete the program while working. Your full-time presence is expected in all the courses, and as you may imagine, the language of instruction is English, and we also have really qualified and really experienced faculty teaching courses across different subjects and across different specializations. And I can also say that the history of the program is getting bigger, is really enhancing. So I can say that it's like also the Sabancı MBA program is like more than, maybe its age is more than 20 years. And as you can see, there are many different goals of the MBA program. And I think, in my opinion, the most important one is to raise professionals who create value for their companies. And value creation can be composed of from many different perspectives. And in my opinion, the most important thing is to also develop the participants, both professionally and also interpersonally, who can really become value-adding people into the top local and also the international companies. And by developing you, of course, we aim to provide a faster career progression, to climb the ladders of the corporate, and also maybe you can also consider establishing your own company. And I think one thing that really worked for me is that I got to know myself much better in the Sabancı MBA program, because I had a degree from international relations and politics. But at that time, I was considering that many of my friends they were considering some careers more in the public institutions, such as the different ministries, or maybe other NGOs. But at that time, I was like, I probably don't want a career in public. I want to go to maybe a multinational organization or into the private sector. But at that time, really, I had no idea on those companies. I had no idea on the business world. And then at that time, I had thought really like doing an MBA would really equip me well in getting the necessary competencies to achieve my career goals. And I really, I really, at the end of this program, I feel that I really got to know myself better, my abilities better, my interests in a much better way, so that I was able to make much more informed career choices at the end. And also during the program, you will meet lots of people. You will be working in groups with your friends. Again, you will meet other executives, you will meet other people, you will meet the alumni of the Sabancı MBA program. And I'm going to talk about them much more in detail in the coming slides. And during my time, it was a younger program, so therefore, right now there are lots of people like this from the Sabancı and also from the executive and the professional MBA programs, from whom you can establish strong networks. And there are basically three legs in the Sabancı MBA program. So one of them is the more like the classical academic part. You'll be taking courses on different subjects, such as accounting, marketing, finance, operations, strategy. And in my opinion, the most important, the most exciting part of the program is the part in the middle. And one of the distinguishing features of the Sabancı MBA program is that it enables you to get really hands-on experience compared to the other programs, especially in Turkey and also in the other parts of the world. I'm going to talk about these company action projects and managerial skills development in much more detail. And you can also have some opportunities to get some international experience by going into the exchange programs. Actually, you're also in the process of your exchange, and then you can also have much wider opportunities through the Sabancı MBA program. And as I just mentioned, we really have a very diversified, very competent faculty members who will be teaching you courses on different functions such as finance, HR, operations, and then who got their PhDs from the top institutions of the world. And Sabancı MBA program is also governed by an advisory board. And as you can see in this slide, the advisory board is composed of people who are top level executives, both in local and international companies. And these people meet at different time intervals to discuss the general strategic direction of the program and also to maybe elaborate more on the specific activities around the strategic direction of the program, strategic direction of the Sabancı MBA program. And also this guy was also a previous graduate of Sabancı MBA. He graduated one year later after I did, and then right now he's the CEO of Yemek Sepeti, one of the, again, most well-known companies in Turkey. I'm sure you might already have ordered something from Yemek Sepeti, right? If you haven't done so, you will probably do it in the future. And also, I can also say that this guy, Ergi Şener, was also my classmate. At that time, we had a different leaders for industry program. They were taking the same courses with us. And right now, this guy is also in the advisory board of the Sabancı MBA program. So you can also see I won't speak too much on these, so you can also see the curriculum here. And I think also one interesting part of Sabancı MBA program is that before you start the courses, you are engaged in a civic involvement project. And this year I remember that I think DDEM took the students again to a dog shelter, right? And then they have been taken to a dog shelter, and then they have conducted various team building activities over there, which was really fun, and then which really provides a good orientation into the program. And and you can also see that there are lots of different courses you will take in order to equip you with the different areas of management. And in the spring term, there are less courses, but it's more focused on completing your company action projects, and then you will be taking some different electives. And here you can see, and also there's also a wide variety of electives from different areas. And depending on your interest, depending on your career goals, again, you may wish to take any of these electives from different areas, such as marketing, operations, finance, international business, HR, and so forth. And again, if you're also interested more in entrepreneurship, we are also offering courses along that dimension. Yes. So as I mentioned, in my opinion, maybe the most distinguishing factor of the Sabancı MBA program is the process named Company Action Projects. So Company Action Projects, in the CAP experience, there's a company, there's a real company coming to the program, and then they are bringing some different projects. And as groups, again, you can choose, depending on your interests, you can choose different projects. And then you spend like maybe 4 to 5 months working on that project. Again, I don't really know after the pandemic, again, how the arrangement works. Because during my time, we were going to the company office. And we were spending 2 days over there. And then you can also have the opportunity to visit the company offices, maybe 2 days in a week. And then with the people from that company, you work on a real challenge of that company. I remember that during, I think, my company action project was for the 3M company. And our mission, our project was about like developing a business plan for a supply chain software product that 3M was planning to introduce into the Turkish market. And at the end of this project, I remember presenting to the CEO of 3M, to the CEO of the Turkish affiliate of 3M, who was a US guy. It was a bit stressful, but very rewarding at the end. So I can say that you will also have the opportunity to interact with the key stakeholders, with the top-level executives of that company. Actually, after I started working, it can really take some time for you to kind of see the CEO, to also interact with the CEO and the top-level management of any company when you start working. But in the CAP experience, again, you will have plenty of opportunities to also work with these kinds of people and, of course, learn from them. So as I just mentioned, as you may imagine, CAP has lots of benefits. So you will gain lots of experience. You will get lots of practical experience. And it will be a nice addition into your CV. You can also show the employer that, look, I have experience in that company, I have experience in that area. And that can really be a big differentiating factor for you during your job applications. And I also know that if you manage to establish good relationships with that company, if you add strong value, then you can also receive a good job offer from that organization. I also remember that, like when I started, I think one of the first graduates of the Sabancı MBA program became the CEO afterwards. Like he became the CEO of the company where he completed his CAP at the Sabancı MBA program. It was for I think it was for a pharmaceutical distribution company, local pharmaceutical distribution company. And as I mentioned, again, you will gain lots of new skills. Again, you will build some network. You will be challenged, of course. But at the end, you will really end up in getting a very strong exposure to the business world and also how a company functions, what are their challenges, how people think, how people act, how to manage people, how to manage conflicts. There will be lots of different benefits of this company action project. And I'm not going to go through all the companies of the recent company action projects. But as you can see in the slide, again, there's really a variety of companies offering CAPs to Sabancı, both big global giants such as maybe Unilever, Shell, Microsoft, and also you can see some very strong local companies such as Hepsi Burada, Yemek Sepeti, Eczacıbaşı, or Doğuş Otomotiv. So you will have plenty of options to choose, hopefully, for your CAPs if you join Sabancı MBA program. And in my opinion, another important part of the Sabancı MBA program is the emphasis that they place on developing your interpersonal and managerial skills. And you will again have plenty of courses in order to develop your interpersonal abilities, such as your networking skills, CV writing, interviewing, negotiation, time management, emotional intelligence, people management, leadership. And these courses are also taught again by a top-level executive, by a person who was the CEO of one of the biggest companies in Turkey within the Sabancı Group. And as I just mentioned, Sabancı is also very active in organizing different events where they bring their alumni together for lots of idea sharing and networking activities. We recently had one at the end of January in Sabancı, in Sakıp Sabancı Museum. I think Meltem Hoca was showing the picture of that building. I think you will visit that place next week. So there are the guest speaker series. There are like the leaders meeting, also guest speakers where all Sabancı MBA graduates come and they share their experiences on different topics. I also had the pleasure of participating into one of these meetings last year, which was really fun. And Sabancı MBA program really has very strong placement statistics. And if you go through all these numbers, you can see that like maybe on average like 80% of Sabancı MBA graduates find a job within 3 months of graduation, and all in very reputable and all in very good companies. And you can see you can also see the general employers of Sabancı MBA graduates. And actually, you can also see my company. And I actually joined Novo Nordisk after graduating from the Sabancı MBA program. But there are many, as you can see in the slide, there are many good top international and local companies who are interested in getting Sabancı MBA graduates. And another interesting fact about the Sabancı MBA program is that also the global presence of the program is increasing day by day. So the Sabancı MBA graduates are also employed in different parts of the world. So there are some people in North America, Europe, and also in other parts of the world. And also in my case, also at Novo Nordisk, I got employed also at a global management trainee program. I worked in Denmark, Switzerland, and afterwards in Dubai for 3 years. So here it really shows that the Sabancı MBA program has a global focus and tries to provide all the necessary competencies and then the necessary exposure and the skills so that you can work anywhere in the world, and also you can lead, manage, work with people from different cultures, and it gives you really a global career orientation at the end. Again, some information. Maybe I'm going to talk about maybe the practicalities around the application. So there's an online application form, of course. So you will need to provide one of these GMAT or GRE scores. There you can also see this ADES here, but it's a Turkish. It's an exam taken in Turkey, which probably won't be applicable for you. You need to provide then, of course, a document for your English competency level, like TOEFL or I don't know the other abbreviations. And you can also see the other documents in here. If you want to apply, the early application deadline is April 14th, which is maybe 2 months from now. And the final application deadline is the beginning of August. And the program starts in September. Program starts like end of September, beginning of October. Maybe DDEM can correct me if I'm wrong. And Sabancı MBA program offers lots of scholarship opportunities, depending on your profile, depending on your interest, and of course depending on your GMAT, GRE scores, on the quality of your documents. You can be offered scholarships at different levels. And usually, like most of the students are accepted. They have a scholarship in one form or the other. I think it will also depend strongly on your interview. There's also an interview process for getting admitted to the program. And also the fact that you will get a scholarship will also very much depend on your interview, again, on your motivation for the program. You may have like maybe excellent GMAT or GRE scores, but if the admission committee, I don't know, sees your motivation quite weak, then the level of scholarship you will be considered, again, might change. Again, there are lots of different factors around these scholarship decisions. And Sabancı MBA program has a really diverse community, consisting different nationalities, again, consisting different majors, such as engineering, social sciences. And the Sabancı MBA, and if you also look at this graph, again, people come from a variety of universities, all top universities across Turkey and the world. So when you join, you'll be really involved in a very diverse community with different perspectives. And I'm sure that this is going to contribute a lot to your development later. And you can also see the different pages of Sabancı Business Schools. It will be great if you can follow us from these links. And having said this, I come to the end of my presentation. Again, if you have any questions, you are more than welcome to shoot to me or DDEM. You can always contact me. And we are looking very much forward to seeing you in the Sabancı MBA program. And Again, as I said in the beginning, I'm hoping that you will enjoy Sabancı to the extent possible, despite these despite all these challenging circumstances, and try to make the most of your stay. Thank you very much again for listening. And if you have any questions, feel free to let us know. Yes, any questions? Anything you want to learn more about Sabancı or Sabancı MBA program, Sabancı Business School? Yes. Yeah. Exactly. Kind of. If Didem can also elaborate. But yeah, the first term is more filled up with more with the academic elements. You'll be taking different courses. CPA, you mean the accounting part? Ah, the company action project. No, it's starting in the second part. Yeah. Yes. Any other questions? Anything you want to learn more? Yes. What is the cost of the program? 90. But you have the opportunities for some scholarships. Any other questions? Any more questions? By the way, I have not provided my email, but it's john.aktan@sabancıuniv.edu. Again, you may also reach me from there if you have more questions and want to learn more things. So are we done? Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Dr. John, for your kind presentation. And with this presentation, our orientation program for 2023 spring term is over. Thank you very much, everyone, for attending. And I hope you all have a very successful and beneficial study period here. A little announcement for you. There will be a shuttle for you from campus to Kadıköy directly. It will be moving at 15 past. And Miss Berna would like to add something very little. Thank you.
I saw an email right now. Somebody sent a learning agreement paper in order for us to sign it. I don't know who did it, but it's not important. You will send Erasmus related documents to Mr. Burhan, which is Su incoming. You will send legal related any question. It can be related to residence permit, insurance, tax number, etc. to IROlegal. This is an important difference. Sometimes I receive a lot of different emails and I have to choose which one needs to be sent to the Mr. Burhan, like to Erasmus office directly. So it will take a little bit time for me to check those emails. I constantly write emails, by the way. So this is important. And that's all.
Thank you. The shuttle will be moving from the front of the business school, 12th, Park 12th, 12. Thank you very much. Bye bye.